All right, so welcome to our September update. I'm Brad Rufkus, CEO and founder of BoxLock. Back in March, we gave you a bunch of insights into our plans for this year about how we were going to make the intelligent access control platform even better. Well, it's September. We've got a ton to show for the work we've done in the first half of the year. We've got some really exciting updates for the back half of the year. Today, we're going to talk about things in three big buckets. One is going to be BoxLock control and how we've really been focusing on that customer experience and going from good to great. The second thing we're going to do is talk about some of the product updates themselves in terms of durability and then firmware updates we've made to make the devices better. And then third, we'll do product updates on some of our key products focused on security, asset management, and safety with an acute focus on Lockout, Tagout. So let's get started. The more and more time we spent, the more we realized how much time they were actually spending using BoxLock control and how important that experience was to them. We've gone in and we've spent a lot of time improving that overall customer experience. We needed a more sophisticated way to show locations and location groups. And so first off, we've implemented an entirely new nested view of location and location groups to help you better traverse those two elements and be able to organize information to be able to better understand what's happening faster. In doing that, we brought forward a whole new table experience. So every time you see a list view, the data that's there is better, it's crisper, it loads faster, it's easier to see and navigate. And so those tables, whether you're looking at locations, whether you're looking at locks and devices, whether you're looking at trackables or barcodes, all those list views have been improved. And then we went through and looked at how much time was being spent on mobile devices as our customers were using the tools in the field. And so we've also delivered now a better, more enhanced mobile experience to make sure that that experience on mobile is as good, if not better, than it is on desktop. The other thing we've done is we realize the importance of data and information. We realize some of our customers are constantly looking at BoxLock control to see what's happening. We also realize that we have some customers that are using BoxLock control in network operations centers. And so now when you go look at our activity view, whether that's at the org level or on a location or location group, those activity feeds are now real time. So you're seeing real time streaming data coming in, showing exactly what's occurring as it occurs in the field. And you can load that up, pull it up in a network operations center, and pull it up full screen. We've also added a peek view. So if you're on a list view and you want to see some of the details that are in an object, such as a device, a location, or a barcode, you can just click on it. It'll pull up a peek view on the side of the screen really quickly, and then you can choose to dive in. Actually, a little Easter egg there. If you're in a list view and you don't want to see peek view, just hold your cursor a little bit longer and it'll go directly to the detailed view behind that. We've also implemented for customers that are trying to figure out connectivity in the field, especially at the beginning of a project, we've put in a new connection guide view that helps you see exactly on each status update what bands were turned on and what band is actively selected so that you can get a better understanding of how cellular should be configured on devices on a specific project or location. So those are our core updates that we've made around BoxLock control and the BoxLock control experience. That experience is much, much, much better whether you're on a desktop, whether you're on a mobile device. And so we're really pleased with the updates that we've made there. A couple updates on firmware. As we come out with new firmware updates, the time it takes to do a firmware update can be fairly tedious. The latest version of firmware now supports the ability to update firmware remotely when plugged in. And so you're not waiting on it. It'll automatically download that firmware the next time it plugs in, update it. We've also implemented dynamic status updates. And so what dynamic status updates do is every time that device updates and performs a status update, it's able to check its environmental conditions and things that have changed in the settings in the cloud, being able to update the next status update in real time or change the configuration of that device in real time. That allows us to do things like dynamic reporting over the road while saving battery life and giving the exact details that you need. It also allows us to do GPS coordinates essentially on the next status update, make sure those come back, and then turn off GPS so that you're conserving battery, but you are getting great positioning. This is a really advanced feature that's now built into the latest version of the firmware that is going to open it up to a host of new machine learning based updates and implementations that's going to give you a really robust capability set without draining the battery of your devices. All right, so now let's talk about security. On the security side, we've made enhancements to alarm mode. Based on user feedback, we've also heard that not only do you want to have barcodes that are associated with location groups that can have multiple locations underneath them, but you want the ability for a single barcode to be able to be used on multiple locations. So now we've released barcodes that can be used on multiple locations, and so you can add as many locations as you'd like to a single barcode, giving it more flexibility. We also seen more customers using our APIs in their applications to be able to open devices, and so we've updated the push to open API endpoint to be able to capture more data. We're currently working on not only just having Apple Wallet available, but now adding Android Wallet into that experience, and then we're providing a more secure version of barcodes that are rotating barcodes that will update based on a regular cadence that you set to make sure that that barcode is refreshed and has less ability to be compromised in there. In our alarm mode, we're also expanding alarm mode so that alarm mode no longer just needs to be set on the device by a user. Alarm mode can now be scheduled, and those schedules can be implemented in BoxLock control, making it so that every day at 8 o'clock to 6 a.m. or 10 o'clock to 9 a.m., whatever your operating hours are at that location can have a schedule on those locks to make sure that alarm mode is turned on at the end of the day and turned off at the beginning of the day. It's really critical to us at BoxLock that we are your asset management partner of choice. Regardless of what tool manufacturers you're using, what tags you're using, and what software platforms, we want BoxLock and BoxLock Control and our intelligent access control platform to really be a cornerstone partner in that technology stack. And to do so, we've said, look, we need to be able to give a great solution that works with every tag manufacturer and gives that best experience. And so, now today, we're the only gateway that supports tags from Milwaukee, Hilti, TrackUnit, and DeWalt. We're excited to share that Milwaukee tools now upload directly into Milwaukee OneKey through BoxLock gateways. We've added in a all new Hilti integration that allows you to take your locations and your workers and create them as barcodes in BoxLock control, keep those automatically synced, so you only have to use one platform. You can manage all of that in Hilti OnTrack and then execute it with BoxLock control. We've added TrackUnit KIN tags to the fold, expanding that network of Bluetooth tags that we're able to read and track back. And then we realized that not everywhere where you need to have a gateway do you need to have a lock. And so we've brought in what was locks in BoxLock control and now made it devices. Under devices you have locks, but we also support natively adding in Oyster gateways from Digital Matter into BoxLock control. And so those can be added, those can be purchased from BoxLock, added into BoxLock control, giving those Oyster gateways the same capabilities that you would get to read Bluetooth tags from all the major tool manufacturers on a gateway that's part of your BoxLock ecosystem in those cases where you don't need access control. Really makes us a unique partner in your tool tracking and asset management portfolio. Reach out to the team, learn more. We're excited to support you in this, and we're excited about the growth we see here. So earlier this year in Q1, we rolled out our revolutionary new Lockout Tagout solution. We've been working on rolling that out with a number of key customers. We've been working with the authorities that help write the standards guidelines to make sure that you have the materials you need to be able to incorporate BoxLock Lockout Tagout into your safety plans. We've also made those safety features better You've now, in the controllets that allow you to see the status in real time of a locked out device, we've added links to documentation so that if you have, whether it is the survey results, whether it's online forms that need to be filled out, whether it's the drawings, all those can be linked right from that controllet and accessed quickly, in addition to the information about who's locked on and for how long. We've also added so that it clarifies and tells you exactly what hazardous energy source is, whether that's solar, whether that's pneumatic, whether it's electrical. That information's there. We're also rolling out new virtual lockout tagout tags. That's going to be a unique capability for some of those cases where locks are not possible or locks are not necessary. And then we're continuing to work on our integrations with companies like Oracle and others to make sure that you've got that information is integrated into the tools that you're using to manage your systems. It also is able to update and show line drawings single line drawings in real time based on the information for the lock. So that product's continuing to improve, continuing to get better, really focused on making sure we've got everything you need to be your trusted solution for lockout tagout.